In today's video, I want to talk to you about financial opportunities that can fast track your wealth. So these are ones that people commonly overlook. And I just want to tell you that these opportunities, they're not rare. They just don't announce themselves. So if you're not prepared or if you just simply don't have the confidence, then you're going to miss these opportunities. So this is actually chapter 7 of my book, The Book of Wealth, 10 Steps to Financial Freedom. So I want to walk you through some real examples to help you recognize and take advantage of very important opportunities. And let's begin with the stock market. So I want to tell you that the stock market is designed to keep going up forever. So in the short term, yes, there's going to be fluctuations and the market may go down. Of course, that's totally possible. However, in the long run, the stock market will keep going up because it is a rigged game. So as soon as you realize this, then you will understand that every time that the stock market dips or corrects or crashes, it is a buying opportunity to accelerate your wealth creation because the market's going to recover. I mean, it always does, and it's going to set new highs. It's going to go up even higher. So just look at this chart for the past 40 years. So the stock market, the S&P 500, just keeps going up. And if you're like, well, from here to there, it doesn't seem like the stock market was doing so hot. So listen, the chart is deceiving because of the compounding. So from here to there, that is a 30% increase. So listen, from here to there, the market increased by 160%. So that's a 16% return a year. So listen, I want to share with you my perspective. The stock market will keep going up, right? I mean, at least from a nominal value, thanks to inflation. And when the stock market goes down, that means that I get the opportunity to buy stocks at a discount. The bigger the crash, the bigger the discounts. And that's going to allow me to make even more money and build my wealth faster. So when the stock market goes down, buy the dip, do not panic sell, avoid stock market margin so that you're not forced to sell, and just wait it out. Now, I want to tell you this story. It's a true story. When the pandemic hit and the stock market started plunging, so I don't know if you remember that. My friend called me and he said, oh, my 401k is plunging. It's so depressing just looking at my balance. Like, I'm so sad. And I told him that, listen, this is just temporary. Everything's going to be okay. He's like, oh, how do you know? I tell him this. It's because the system is rigged. And a year later, I ask him, oh, how's your portfolio, man? And he's like, oh, I can't believe how much money I have. Like, oh, you're right. And then just recently, the Trump tariffs, they hit and the stock market fell quickly, right? And I swear to you, same friend, he says, oh, it's so depressing looking at my 401k balance. I feel so sad every time I look at it. And I tell him the same thing. I say, listen, don't worry about it. Like, just wait it out. You're going to be okay. And then a few weeks later, all that money was recouped. And then I'm telling you, in a few years, that portfolio, it's going to be up dramatically. So listen, he's talking about a 401k, so he's not going in and out. He's not trading it, like buying and selling. But yeah, stock market dips and corrections and crashes, they create an emotional roller coaster and it causes people to sell when they should be buying. So listen, it's going to be the same concept with real estate. So I'm not going to go too in depth on this subject. So in 2008, during the housing market crash, there was, if you're around at the time, you would have known that there were incredible deals on the market. But like me personally, at that time, I couldn't do anything about it because at that time in my life, I didn't have the money or the credit or, even the knowledge or the confidence. But in the aftermath, I mean, obviously looking back, it was so clear that was the time to buy. That was the best time to buy. So I promised myself that the next time that this happened, that I would be ready. So 2020 rolls around and real estate prices start to plunge. I mean, this is a brief window of time. So there were panic sellers, especially in urban areas, at least in some cities. And this time I was prepared and I struck like a bandit. I mean, I had to wait 12 years for the opportunity, but it paid off. And listen, again, it's the same concept with real estate. Home prices will continue to go up in the long run. It is a rigged game. It's called inflation and money printing. So this is a chart. So the median home price in the US for the past 60 plus years. So look, even if you bought your home right here at the absolute worst time, right before the last housing market crash, you're fine now. I mean, you're better than fine because in the long run, home prices just go up. But if by chance, like this type of opportunity right here presents itself, you should really consider taking advantage of it. So listen, I want to give you this perspective. When it comes to the stock market or real estate, whenever there's a correction or a crash, you have to have this mentality where it's kind of like a safety net or a reassurance that in the long run, it's just going to recover and go up. And with that confidence, you should be able to capitalize on these types of situations if there's a deep correction or a crash. Now, moving on, I want to tell you this, that crashes are not your only opportunity. Being early to something, that is an opportunity. So I want to give you an example. So when I first heard about Bitcoin, it was around $700. So I know that's not extremely early. I'm sure that you heard of stories earlier than that, but relatively speaking, I would consider that a decent entry point. So the reason why I stumbled upon BTC was because, I mean, it was just, I got lucky. It's because my clients, they were asking me about the tax consequences of BTC and all these technical questions. They were dabbling in it, and their questions forced me to look into Bitcoin. That's what happened. And at that time, if you were involved in Bitcoin at that time, I mean, you were hardcore about it. Like the way that people spoke about it was so passionate, and they were basically Bitcoin evangelists. Like that's how it was. And, you know, there's always those people that the early adopters, they're like, oh, you should buy it. You should look into it at least. It's not too late. Like, you know how it goes. But after researching, you know, I was like, wow, like these people, they actually might be onto something. And I took a stab at it. And of course, obviously, I'm so happy that I did. So this was well before KYC, you know, was mandated or even popular. I mean, this was when it was the wild, wild west. It was awesome. These are the glory days, I'd say. Anyways, I'll tell you that this was a big win for me. And it wasn't because I was smart or because I was savvy. No, it's because I was simply early. That's the honest truth. So sometimes being early to something is an opportunity. So I believe that's very important that you keep an open mind and do some investigation work to see if something has the potential to make you a lot of money. And listen, of course, there will be career opportunities as well. It could be finding a better job. It could be starting your own business. It could be relocating to a new area. So when these opportunities arise, please take the time to assess them and to take them seriously. Of course, don't make any rash decisions, but again, keep an open mind. So I want to tell you this. In my career, this is what happened to me. In Chicago, downtown in the Loop, there was a severe shortage of small tax practices to help small businesses and individuals. And I found that absolutely crazy because there was such a high concentration of people and small business owners in that area. And this is what I did. It was a simple assessment. Like you could call up one of the few tax practices in the area, and they would say that if they didn't have availability, that you would need to wait a month to book an appointment. Or they would say that they're not accepting new clients at all. And I saw their bad reviews, you know, from their clients online. I mean, these people, these clients, they were not happy, but they didn't have much of a choice. And I saw this as an opportunity to start my own tax practice and to just dominate, and I executed. So for my career, I would say that it was this one good move that really transformed my income and also my trajectory. Like it set up the foundation for the rest of my life. And was there risk involved? Yes, of course. But you know, obviously I tried to minimize that risk with research and preparation, and fortunately, it worked out well. So here's what I want to share with you in my personal journey. Opportunities show up in downturns. They show up in new trends. They show up in your career, but they're never going to wave a giant flag saying, this is it. Like if you're not looking or if you're not ready, you will miss it. So if you want to build wealth, I'd say faster, then you've got to stay alert. You have to be flexible and you have to be willing to act. Now, if you want more practical, no-nonsense advice on how to build your wealth, I wrote a book about this that I believe is really going to help you or someone that you care about. It's called The Book of Wealth, 10 Steps to Financial Freedom. It's now available on Amazon. Thank you for the support, and I wish you a very nice day. Take care.